Welcome to the Rusted Garden. We are going to go into those container tomatoes. They're doing extremely well, but they have disease on them. They have a leaf spot disease on there. Now these are determinate variety tomatoes, most of them. So they're going to get to a set height, flower, produce fruit, and die off. And some of what you're going to see in there is the natural dying of the bottom leaves as these determinate tomatoes have flowered. They're producing fruit. But we have had crazy, crazy rain for the last 3 weeks. We've had floods. I've been trying to spray these regularly. That's the main point. Anytime that you are managing tomatoes and you know you have diseases in your area, try and spray regularly, every 7 to 14 days, depending on what's going on. However, I would spray, it would rain, thunderstorms, wash it off. It'd go out and spray again, more thunderstorms. So even if you have a perfect plan, you still may end up with diseases and problems because nature just doesn't cooperate. So let's go right to the bottom. On a lot of the leaves, you can see the yellowing. Yellowing isn't always an issue, but those brown spots on there are an issue. And when you have brown spots, just like that, that is usually a leaf spot. And you can see it on a lot of different plants. Now, they usually attack the bottom of the plant because those leaves are a little bit weaker and it kind of takes hold and the plants can't really fight them off. Here's some more over here. Now, I'm not that concerned yet, but this is how you treat it. First of all, I've already sprayed my tomatoes this morning with a baking soda and milk spray. Whatever you want to use is perfectly fine. You want to get in there, coat the top side, the bottom side of your leaves with an antifungal. Some people use baking soda, some people use milk. You can use wettable sulfur. You could use Daconol. It's a chemical that is really, really effective. If you're losing your crop and the organic remedies aren't working, you may want to try Daconol. But I've sprayed everything down, and you can see those spots are the points of concern. And there's more right in there. So you want to spray everything first because you're going to be in here moving around, touching leaves, possibly spreading the fungus around. So spray the leaves. Then we want to get in there and just remove the leaves that are infected. Again, determinate varieties, and you would go in and just cut off the infected leaves. Let's trim all these out. Where's that one? Try not to touch the plants that have the leaf spot on there or the disease on there, and then touch leaves that are healthy. And I would go around and remove all the leaves. I'm going to do that. I'll show you what it looks like for all the plants. We'll talk a little bit more about the fungus on there. So spray everything down, let it dry, and then get to removing the leaves. So I went through and removed a lot of the leaves. Anything that has spots on them, there'll be little brown spots, and the brown spots, if the fungus is active, usually around the brown spots, it's yellow. Now hopefully I got here in time to control this. I was away. That was another problem. I couldn't check on everything. I'll show you what I removed and show you the leaf spot again, but I want to show you this plant. This is a tomato plant that's yellowing and there's no leaf spot on there. So this is normal. When you see it yellowing out, that's a normal pattern sometimes for the determinate varieties, but I'm going to remove those. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I use calcium nitrate to give them a boost of nitrogen, but also help prep them so they don't get blossom end rot. So I removed a lot of the leaves from the bottom. I also took my containers and spread them out so that wind will circulate through there. And when I'm done, I'll show you how I set these up while I'm in the disease control mode. Again, that's what the leaf spot looks like. You can see it on these leaves. Sometimes the weaker leaves get it first. When you come over here, I'm going to give you a quick look. There is some on this leaf, and you might be tempted to go like this. Whoop, I'm trying to do it left-handed. That's funny, it won't cut. But just imagine you're trying to cut that off. If it's on this leaf here, it's probably already on here, so just go ahead and remove the whole leaf. Don't try and just cut off single leaves. Take the whole stem because you're really trying to control the disease. The other thing is, and you can see it here too, you might say, oh, let me just cut this off. No, go through and cut off the entire leaf. And I would have to go through and inspect this. You want to spray the bottom and the undersides. And you also might be tempted while you're cutting leaves to go ahead and then tie them up. Do that at the end. Only use the scissors to remove the leaves that have damage on them. These guys have been cut back. You can see how much I took off all the way through. And you can see the plants are falling over now because they need to be tied down. Do that last. I'll show you how we do that. And you also, here, like I even missed it. So there's somewhere on there. So rather than just cut this off thinking you're just removing this leaf, you want to get rid of the entire stem, or the entire leaf. On here, there's spots on the stem, not just the leaves. And again, that's leaf spot. It's producing tomatoes. It's a determinate variety, but it has leaf spot. So that's how you trim everything back. Now that you've removed most of the leaves, go back and check one more time. Remove any leaves that have the spots on it. So let me clean this up and then we'll get to the next step. Here's the total of all the leaves I took off. They have disease on them, so bag them and throw them away. Do not put them in your compost pile. Now, in my area, I'm in Maryland Zone 7, I haven't had leaf spot for years. It usually comes at this time, May, June, if I have it late May. The temperatures, the weather, the rain, everything has just been awful. So even if you try and do the right thing and you do a great job, you still can end up with disease. So don't get too down if it happens. So now that I've removed the spots from the leaves that I've identified, there's still disease on there. I've already sprayed once. I'm going to go in and spray again. You know, whatever spray you want to use is up to you. I have videos on all the different sprays that I might use. You could pick one of those or get one off the internet that you may like or buy it in the store. So I'm going to go through, spray all the leaves, get the undersides, get the top sides. I really want to treat the undersides and the top sides of the leaves. When that dries, I'm going to come in, tie up the plants, and then I'll show you how I manage blossom end rot using calcium nitrate and make my own spray. So everything's been staked up. I move the pots around to let more air circulation go through the plants and around the plants. If you've been watching this series, the plants were all right in this area. Now I have to work 9 to 5, so I do all these gardening videos around my full-time job. And I went to Tennessee. I visited my son. I had a great time. I went to Nashville. I want to show you the plant right in here. Here's a tomato that was away from the main group. It has no yellowing leaves, no leaf spot. There's nothing I needed to do to that. So disease does come when you have plants concentrated together. And like I said, if things were perfect, I would have had time to spread these out as I wanted to, because I had pea plants over there. They were going to die out and come out, and this is how it was going to go. But circumstances, weather, everything kind of fell in place that we got leaf spot. So stake them up, get them off the ground, remove the leaves, and you can see I have a lot of tomatoes coming in. Right in here, the branch bent really badly. So you can make a splint. Just put the wood on both sides, tie it tightly on there, splint it up, and then tie the whole vine along a stake. That will heal. But it was, pretty bad off. I just want to give you a quick look. The tomatoes are coming in. The space will allow circulation through here. They've been sprayed. All this crazy stuff growing right here, if you ever see that, those are just root nodes. Because of all this humidity and water and rain, the plants have been trying to root really into the air, and that's just how bad it has been here. Again, more tomatoes, all doing nicely. And when you get disease, the whole goal, especially with the determinate varieties, is just to use your spray, manage the plants so that you get production from your tomatoes before they naturally die out, and slow the disease. It'd be great if we could remove it and control it and get rid of it. But if we can kind of slow it down, maybe control the growth a little bit, you're going to get plenty of great tomatoes. Now, also with all this rain, water's whipping through the container mix, leaching away a lot of the nutrients. So we're going to do a feeding. I'm going to give it a water-soluble fertilizer, worm casting tea, and fish emulsion. But I want to show you how I use calcium nitrate to put in a water-soluble form of calcium and nitrogen so that these plants don't get blossom end rot on the tomatoes. Blossom end rot is when the bottoms of your tomatoes turn brown. You'll know when it happens. You can see it happen. It happens quickly. It usually happens with container plants, and it's either an issue where you have calcium in your soil, your plants can't take it into the system, or there's not enough calcium. So when you set up your container mixes, you can put in gypsum that adds calcium, you can put in lime that adds calcium, but still sometimes container plants, container tomatoes, container peppers, the plants still get blossom end rot. So you can also put a foliar feed on your leaves where the leaves will absorb calcium and they will absorb nitrogen. And that is by using calcium nitrate. I sell this at my seed shop, www.therusticgarden.com. The recipes are on there on how to use it. 1 gallon of water, 1 to 2 tablespoons of calcium nitrate. Yes, it's a chemical. Everything on the planet's a chemical. Calcium nitrate is made by taking calcium carbonate, adding nitric acid, it reacts, it releases carbon dioxide, and you end up with calcium nitrate. This is 15% nitrogen, 0 phosphorus, 0 potassium. So this is a nitrogen feed, and it's also 19% water-soluble calcium, which is great because it will absorb right into the leaves, through the leaves, and your container plants can get calcium. That's all you need to do. Spray it down just like that. You don't even need to do this weekly. When you see your plants are starting to produce fruit, you can go ahead and use calcium nitrate. It will stop blossom end rot. If you see your plants, your tomatoes end up with blossom end rot, or your peppers are browning on the bottoms or the sides, that's also a form of calcium deficiency, go ahead and use this calcium nitrate spray. Where do you find this? If you go into a store and you buy blossom end rot spray, it's about 16 ounces. It's going to cost you anywhere from $6 to $10. That's all it is. All it is the calcium nitrate that I just showed you. So you can pick it up from me, and that bag that I just showed you actually will make about, don't quote me, but about, I think 20 gallons, 50 quarts of the spray. It's really, really inexpensive to do it yourself. In fact, that pack is only about 12 bucks, and you can make a whole lot of spray from it. I hope you enjoyed the video. This gives you some idea of how to manage and deal with spot diseases on your plants. It's really important to spray your tomatoes before the diseases come, and then when the diseases arrive, you want to be spraying them about once a week till it's under control, and then you can go back to a routine of spraying every 7 to 14 days. It's probably going to rain here again, so I'm going to reapply my spray, but do your best. Please check out my blog at www.therusticgarden.com. You can also find my seed shop there, and please check out my YouTube videos. Thanks.